And now let's move on to the Big Daddy, bro. Big Daddy, the main event, all the fights, all of them were great. I think barring the two fights, in fact, Whaley and Oliveira, we saw finishes in all the
Hmm.
fights, and I think it just kept us on the edge of our seats, irrespective of even how the two decision fights went. I think we were still on the edge of our seats. I mean, even Oliveira versus Sarukian was the one where you were thinking, ab kya hoga, ab kya hoga. It was just one of those, right? So
True,
let's
true, true.
start with Bo Nickel and Cody Brundage. And I think everyone expected this the way it went.
Hmm.
Both of us had picked Bo Nickel, and Bo Nickel did end up winning.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything that surprised you here?
Not really, not really. I mean, I said it before. Like Cody Brundage was, somewhat of a decent wrestler slash grappler. So he
Yeah,
held his own in the first round, but ultimately it was inevitable, man. It was inevitable. I
that's true.
honestly do not really care for this fight, and not because a lot of people. Maybe the people who are watching this would say, "Oh, he's such a casual. He does not care for the fight," but come on, don't act like you care for this fight, man. Come on, this skill difference is crazy, bro. I mean,
It's crazy, bro. Yeah,
this was a can fed to Bo Nickel by the UFC. He won. He should have won.
that's
It wasn't
yeah,
anything too crazy. I mean, he ideally should have won in the round one. He shouldn't have struggled at all, in my opinion. But he did.
yeah,
But it's okay, I guess. I mean, he's only fought 6 times in his career, in his MMA career.
yeah.
So I get it. It's fine. Yeah. I want to see the only fight that I want to see next is Ikram Aliskerov versus Bo Nickel, and the UFC is not going to make that fight. There's no way they're going to make that fight.
It went the way we expected it to go,
True, true, true.
and Bo Nickel did end up getting the finish.
Right.
So let's get to the juice of the card, yeah. Let's start with Charles Oliveira versus Arman Sarukian. I mean, what a fight! And this was my legit first L of the night. I hate it, but at the same time, I also love it as an MMA fan because I mean, why would you not want to see Islam versus Arman Sarukian now? Sarukian clearly won 2 rounds. That fight was the first of the night that had us on the edge of our seats here. Oliveira was very close in the first round, almost got the finish, but levels, man, levels, and I think obviously Dustin versus Islam has been announced now, and I'm very emotional about that fight because I would want Dustin to win and take off that last box. But I think genuinely the best fight in the lightweight division right now is Islam Makhachev versus Arman Sirk. And I don't care who wins that fight. MMA fans win whenever that fight gets announced, and it happens.
True, man. True. Uh, I just think, bro, about this fight. Obviously, I had the correct prediction. I thought,
Yeah,
I thought Arman was going to finish Charles. I thought he was going to finish Charles,
yeah,
but he won by decision. I thought it was the right decision. A lot of people are arguing right now whether it should have been Arman winning the fight because of the late submission attempt by
it's
Charles. I just think,
bullshit.
you're just being very काफी भाई ये अनफेयर चीज है आई गेट इट यू लाइक चार्ल्स इफ यू लाइक चार्ल्स आई गेट इट बट भाई बी फेयर मैन कम ऑन ही वाज नेवर इन ट्रबल ही वाज अ लॉट ऑफ
He was
पीपल
never.
या लोग एजेंडा पुश कर रहे हैं कि भाई वो ही वाज आउट ही वाज लिम्प नहीं he in fact he even posted a clip of himself before the fight of him defending that dart stroke so it's a technique man it's a technique it's a legit technique so to defend the choke so again what happened was Arman being the superior wrestler and I said it before I said it in the past also dominant
Yeah,
wrestler will always have an advantage over a grappler who is more of a BJJ guy compared to a wrestler, right? I mean,
that's true.
Charles is a very good grappler, right? But he's not really a wrestler, right? He's very good. He has some good takedowns, and he's very good at defending takedowns. But at the same time, he's the sort of guy who likes to stay on his back, and that's a very big
Yeah.
problem for him with when it comes to him facing fighters like Islam or Arman. They'll have no respect for his ground game, bro. They'll have absolutely
I'll be very honest. It even happened in the Beneil fight, if you remember.
yeah, it
I
did.
mean, because he was not very clinical, he ended up punching the canvas a lot of times, but he was not able to
And
connect with Charles, and
yeah,
eventually Charles capitalized.
I know,
That's what.
bro, and that's how I predicted that fight as well. I had Beneil winning for this exact same reason, and there were signs of that in that fight as well. Obviously, ultimately, Charles did finish him on the feet, but again, that's a weakness for Charles, bro. Like that is a legit weakness for him because if he is up against a dominant wrestler, they will not respect his ground game at all, and that is exactly what Arman did, and he did get caught a couple of times in submissions, but he got out comfortably again. That guillotine, again, guillotines do not work in high level MMA, of course, unless
Yeah,
you're Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira is a different beast, but again, that this is exactly how I thought the fight would play out. Except for it going to the decision, I thought Arman was going to finish him from the top. But yeah, I'm happy for Arman. A bit sad for Charles, but then he has to make some improvements, man. He needs to
he
avoid
has to.
the ground at all, like at any cost, compared to when he's up against someone like Arman. If the fight had
That's.
remained on the feet, I Charles could have won the fight.
I mean, it still could have gone either way, but
Hmm.
and I think you of all the people know that I'm a very die-hard Charles Oliveira fan. So
Yep.
obviously I hated that he lost, but
Hmm.
I think there were two takeaways here. That one was that he seemed very hesitant to get in the pocket and fight because I think what has happened in the previous fight, being dropped against Dustin, against Justin, against Islam, that has kind of made him a bit hesitant. And I think उसने ना अपना एक रिस्क एनालिसिस किया था and he understood that he can't lose this fight. And again, going back to what happened against Benil and against Islam, you obviously saw how technical Arman Sarukian was as a proper top heavy wrestler.
Hmm.
Obviously, he also ended up opening him from the side by landing a very good elbow. But I think Charles was hesitant overall. मैं engage करूंगा, power difference है, I might get dropped eventually. And if he would have gotten dropped against a wrestler of the caliber of Arman, the finish could have come.
Hmm.
Because again, you're not fighting Dustin, who's gonna invite you to come back up to the feet. You're not fighting Gaethje. You're not fighting anybody else
Yeah.
who's going to get back up to your feet, and you'll have a chance to finish them. But it is what it is. I think I'm just as an MMA fan, I am very happy because you might see someone. Obviously, Volt did it, but you will genuinely see someone in the lightweight division who's going to give Islam a run for his money. It's
True.
happened in
True.
the
True.
past. I really hope it happens now,
Yeah.
and I would love to see that fight. So if you ask me personally, that's the next best fight in the lightweight division that I want to see.
I agree. I agree, man.
Dustin
I
gets his shot, but I mean, come on, man. Just do Islam Makhachev versus Arman Sarukian, and I hope it happens in Dubai so that we can probably go to watch the fight. By the way, UFC 308 has been announced in Dubai. If you guys don't know, October 26th,
Is it Dubai
and
or Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. People just end up saying Dubai in general, so
I know.
it
I
just
know.
kind
I
of
get it.
comes
I
out.
get.
So, but ठीक है. I mean, I'm not too sad because the better fighter won, and Arman was the. And as someone who really likes Charles,
Hmm.
I'll be very honest. Round one के बाद वो कुछ नहीं जीता भाई. If
Hmm.
you guys are being toxic or saying that Arman did not deserve a win, he deserved a win in every aspect.
Yeah. And
He
let's
was he
be.
was
Yeah.
nowhere near to getting finished in the third round. He
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
he was in a very. If you watch MMA, you understand he was in a very comfortable position.
Hmm.
He was in no position to get finished at all,
Exactly.
or
Exactly.
submitted or thrown or whatever you want to say. So props to Arman Sarukian, and very excited for what happens in the lightweight division in general now.
Same. Same. Same.
Very good, man. And let's move on to, oh boy, the fight of the night. I
The
called
fight of
it
the night or fight of the year, man.
fight of the decade, if you ask me, man. That 459 KO TKO, that last 1 second KO, bro. Come on. I mean, I really thought that what Leon Edwards did against Usman the last 54 seconds was badass, but
Nah, man.
this is as BMF as it
Nothing tops
gets.
this. Nothing tops this, bro.
Yeah,
Nothing tops
nothing
this.
tops this at all, bro. Nothing tops this at all. I was also remembering the knockout that Cody had against I don't know which fighter, where he ducked him right at the end of the round and he landed a right.
Rafael Asensao.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty badass. But what Max Hall? Oh man,
But that was the second.
wow.
That was the end of the second round, I believe.
Yeah, that was
That
the end of the
Cody.
segment.
Yeah. I mean, it does not get better than this, man. Because
It does
all things
not, man.
considered, भाई कॉन्टेक्स्ट जब तुम ऐड करो इस फाइट में तो भाई इससे ज़्यादा गैंगस्टर चीज़ कुछ हो ही नहीं सकती. दिस इज बाय फार द
कुछ नहीं हो.
क्रेजिएस्ट, यू नो. आई थिंक every hardcore fan would agree with me on this. इससे ज़्यादा क्रेजी, यू नो, क्रेजी इज द राइट वर्ड. इससे ज़्यादा क्रेजी और गैंगस्टर चीज़ कुछ नहीं हो सकती भाई यूएफसी में. आई डोंट थिंक कभी भी ऐसा हुआ है. बिकॉज
Yeah,
context, I'll give context, right? Going into the fight, Max was supposed to be the lighter guy, the guy with no power. ठीक है, मतलब
yeah,
Geji was supposed to be the power puncher. We had seen how the fight with Dustin Poirier had ended for Max Holloway couple of times.
yeah,
Dustin was definitely the harder puncher. सबका
yeah. He
opinion
was.
यही था going into the fight that Geji would be the first one to KO Max. मैक्सिमम लोगों का ओपिनियन यही था. एंड इफ दिस वाज नॉट द ओपिनियन, सबका ओपिनियन एटलीस्ट ये तो था कि इट वुड बी वेरी सिमिलर टू डस्टिन वर्सेस मैक्स. आई केप्ट सेइंग दिस, आई सेड इट इन द प्रेडिक्शंस वीडियो एज वेल. भाई तुम गलत कह रहे हो. It's all about styles, man. Styles make fights. Dustin versus
Yeah,
just think about these three fighters: Justin, Max. If you have to order them, ठीक है, in terms of striking, because normally you would imagine इन तीनों की fight अल्टीमेटली बॉक्सिंग मैच ही होती है. तीनों में से कोई भी एक दूसरे से लड़े, सबकी फाइट बॉक्सिंग मैच ही होती है. हु इज द बेस्ट बॉक्सर
that's true.
among these three? It's Dustin, man. It's clearly Dustin. All things
It
considered,
is.
yes, Max is faster for sure. Max has more volume, obviously, but Dustin is more composed. He's got more power. He's got better technique. He's got the better timing. He's got the best defense. तीनों में से सबसे बेस्ट डिफेंस डस्टिन का है. सो अल्टीमेटली सबसे बेस्ट बॉक्सर डस्टिन है, which is the reason why he first beat Justin Gaethje, which is the reason why he has beaten Max twice. Obviously, he submitted him one time very early in his
Yeah.
career, but again, he outboxed Max in that fight as well. But ultimately, it's all about styles. Justin beat Dustin for sure, but how did he beat him? It was a head kick, man. It was head kick. And
Yeah.
in the striking exchanges, in the boxing exchanges, Justin was still winning in the rematch. And
Oh,
if
easily.
yeah, and if they were to fight 10 more times, and if it was to be a boxing match, I would favor Dustin every single time against Justin Gaethje. And that's what happened, man. Like Max was too technical. He was too technical for Justin, and that's what I said. He was too technical, and he had a way better cardio compared to Justin. Way better
I
cardio,
think
man.
that was not a doubt for anyone, right?
हाँ,
Unless you've been watching MMA for the first time, the
exactly, bro.
cardio thing is brilliant.
आई कांट बिलीव ये सब चीज़ें सोचने के बाद भी. एंड भाई द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इन दिस फाइट, Justin Gaethje's combinations compared to Max Holloway's combinations. Justin Gaethje is a two puncher. He's a two punch combo guy. Like he does not throw more than two. If he does throw more than two, he's just off balance. He's मतलब एकदम ही balance lose करके गिरता फिरता है भाई बंदा. Max Holloway on the other hand, insane movement. First of all, the way he just he was, ऐसा लग रहा था कि स्प्रिंग पे he's got springs in his shoes, man. अंदर जाता है बाहर कूदता है, अंदर जाता है बाहर कूदता है. His movement was insane. Justin covering up, the way he covers up was uh, it was very bad for him, because जितनी बार उसने कवर अप किया, मैक्स इट फेवर्ड मैक्स a lot more, because वो मैक्स इतना ज़्यादा मूव कर रहा था अपने उसमें यहाँ पे अपने around the cage, and Justin he just couldn't see him, man. He couldn't find Max for most of the fight. So all things considered, पूरे context तुम ऐड करोगे, and उसके बाद भी मैक्स ने बोला भाई तू बीच में आ और फिर लड़ मेरे से, throw it down. एंड देन ही
Yeah.
नॉक्ड हिम आउट कोल्ड. भाई इनसेन. जब पूरी कॉन्टेक्स्ट तुम कंसिडर करोगे तो बहनचोद इससे बेटर फाइट कुछ हो ही नहीं सकती.
I mean, bro, let's be very real. Coming into this fight, Holloway was unranked in the lightweight division,
Hmm.
and the narrative was that Gaethje is the guy who has everything to lose.
Hmm.
Holloway has nothing to lose. But please look at the fight again. Look at the fight as many times as you want. Did Holloway not have anything to lose in the last 10 seconds? He was easily 3 rounds, one up, or if some people might argue, 4-0.
Yeah.
And he called, and you need to have balls of steel to call someone like with the power of Justin Gaethje to step in the octagon in the last 10 seconds, where he can shut your lights out any second. And by the way,
Exactly.
if you saw the fight, if any one of our viewers saw the fight, Holloway got dropped for the first time by Gaethje.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
This could have really been a confidence shattering moment. I mean, it's exactly like wrestlers have that egoistic moment of
Hmm.
not being taken down.
Hmm. Hmm.
Strikers will also have that one moment where strikers in general, you don't want to get dropped as a striker, is what I mean.
Yeah.
And he called him out. He called him out, and I absolutely love Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, and Max Holloway. And I hate how Justin Gaethje got face planted in that. I'm very gutted for him because I love him a lot. But Max Holloway, man, come on! It doesn't get more badass than this.
It
He
does
he
not.
changed the belt name to Blessed Men Forever. Blessed Man Forever. Sorry, I got it
Yeah.
wrong. I mixed up. But I mean, he is the baddest motherfucker of 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 all time, and
Yeah, for
this
sure.
was the best moment in the history of the BMF belt fight ever,
Bro,
ever.
it's like the BMF belt was created for someone like Max Holloway, भाई मतलब वो बनी ही belt उसी के लिए है. He's the baddest of the baddest guys, man. And I know what. So Masvidal recently came on El Helwani's show, and he was
Yeah,
in the studio, and he said
what was
something
destiny?
about. He talked about the fight, and he said
Yeah,
Max Holloway is not just the fan favorite fighter; he's the favorite fighter of the fighters as well. And that's
yeah,
what being a BMF is, man. That's what BMF is. Because you
that's
know, when you have the respect of your peers, is there any fighter
yeah,
out there? Let's be real, man. Ilya Tupuria is just talking trash. If we are going to be, if you know, and I get it, he's trying to sell the fight. You know, if he
yeah,
was very respectful to Volk as well after the fight. So
yeah.
yeah, he's a pretty chill guy. If you truly understand how the business works, I mean, you'll understand he's just talking trash to sell the fight. But every single guy has respect for Max, bro. Every single fighter
That's
in the UFC loves Max for this reason
that's
only. I mean, he's just. What do you expect from a fighter? So a lot of people, complain about having boring fighters in the UFC who are too, concerned with the legacy and stuff like, just having wins on their record. I get it that it's ultimately it is a sport. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You got guys like Habib, GSP, Islam, John Jones. I mean, these are some of the guys who never took, who do not take any risky fights, right? They always
yeah,
took fights. They would never take short notice fights. They would always take fights that they can win, and things like that. And they would always fight strategically. You would never expect some of these legends to fight like Max did, right? The thing with Max is he is an all-time great man. He has three title defenses at featherweight. He's in a lot of people's eyes the second best featherweight ever. In my eyes, he's the third best featherweight of all time. He's right up there with Jose Aldo and obviously Alexander Volkanovski. But his resume. You could easily rank his resume in the top five of all time, man. Like
100%, 100%.
he has fought like 13 to 14 great fighters, man. That is insane, and he has won most of these fights. So again, I am so like क्या बताऊं भाई मतलब it's just I'm lost for words, bro. I'm lost for words. And our reaction, I think we should post our reaction as well on the channel.
Yeah, we really should post that. But you remember the energy in the room when that happened, right? Six,
Yeah,
seven guys sitting in the room just watching the fight. And I mean, was it you or was it Shiraj who said that Max will call him to scrap in the last
हम
10,
दोनों ही
12
थे
odd
हम दोनों ही थे
seconds?
हम दोनों यही कह रहे थे. पहले मैंने बोला था बट या
And
मैक्स श्रीराज वाज आल्सो सेइंग दैट या हम दोनों यही
we
चीज
were
डिस्कस
on
कर रहे थे.
a pretty good BMF consolation moment for Justin Gaethje. He had a lot to lose. He took that fight,
True.
and he got finished. It is what it is. But I mean, he's just great, man. You have to give him so much credit. But Max Holloway has moved up to the eighth in the lightweight division.
Hmm.
Justin Gaethje remains. Oh, he's dropped down one place. He's at the third place right now. Oliveira has dropped to second place. But who is Justin Gaethje fighting if he decides to come back? And that's a big if, in my opinion.
No, no. So he has come
Could
out recently and said he would fight again. Yeah, he did say it. I
happen.
read somewhere earlier in the morning, but I don't know if he's going to fight anytime soon. I think he should be out for
Yeah,
at least six to
should be.
7 months, at least 7 8 months.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
as for what is next for him, I honestly do not know what is next for him, man. Like. If you look at the rankings, the only fight that currently makes sense for him, only two fights I would say are either the Charles Oliveira rematch because since they're both coming off of a loss, right? Or if he fights someone like Gamrot, I mean,
What do you think happens with Max Holloway now? Obviously, he's fighting Ilya Topuria, but let's say he has to fight for the BMF belt eventually. Who is he defending it against?
there's only One
That that
option.
that answer is gonna break my heart. You know it.
Bro, I think he needs to fight either Connor or Chandler, bro. I think he needs to fight either Connor or Chandler because that's the bro. Like, think about it. Let's say firstly, the fight Connor versus Chandler is not going to a decision. Let's be real. There's
It's
no
not, of
there's no
course.
way it's going to be a decision. If it does, I mean, I'll be very surprised. But I think it's going to be a big knockout win for either Connor or Chandler. So whatever happens in that fight, whoever wins that fight should fight Max for the BMF belt, man. That's going to be the biggest fight for BMF. That's going to be an even bigger fight compared to Max versus Justin, all things considered.
That potentially could be. And I think, I mean, again, Michael Chandler is far from a title shot. McGregor is not
Exactly.
even ranked
Yeah,
weight,
yeah,
and they're fighting at welterweight right now, right? So if McGregor wins by any chance, and
bro.
I just want to understand how
Hmm.
it works, where is McGregor going to be ranked in the lightweight division?
I don't think they're
Is
going
he
to be
going?
ranked, bro. And I don't think they care. I don't think the fighters care about it, and I don't think the UFC cares about it. Let's be real, भाई ये सब गिमिक है यार. रैंकिंग्स वगैरह बहुत बड़ी गिमिक है. ये सब मैटर नहीं करता उतना ज़्यादा. मतलब करता है for fighters who are not very popular, who only take it as a sport. But when you're talking about
Yeah.
guys like Connor or Chandler, and even Max at this point in his career, of course, unless he wins against Tupuria. I mean, Max is again. That's why Max is such a fan favorite. मतलब वो बंदा भाई he takes it as a sport, but he also takes it as an entertainment thing. मतलब वो बंदे को इसीलिए तो भाई मैक्स सबको पसंद है यार. मतलब बंदा he will fight for the BMF title and he also fight for the actual title. I mean, ऐसा हर कोई नहीं कर सकता. So
That's
yeah, I think regardless of whether it is at 170 or 150, I know it is at 170, Conor versus Chandler. BMF टाइटल वो भाई किसी डिवीजन के ऊपर है नहीं. मतलब वो कोई भी होल्ड करता है.
हाँ,
I mean, Jorge
हाँ.
Masvidal was holding the title, just 4 years ago in the welterweight division. Now Max is going to be fighting next at featherweight, and now he has the BMF title. So, regardless of who wins, I mean, I think they could make that. And Max is the type of guy, bro. I'm telling you this right now. Max would fight. I mean, Chandler or Connor at 170, he would have no problem, bro. He would easily take the two fights. Firstly, because he's way better than both the guys. I think everyone should
Yeah.
agree with me on that at this
He's
point.
hitting his prime now, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
let's be real. Those guys are way past their prime.
yeah, way past their prime, and just Max is like way better than both the guys, regardless of what weight class these guys fight at. The only concern I would have is if Chandler fights smart, which is not going to happen. If
Yeah.
if Chandler does fight smart, and if he does take Max Holloway down, he can take Max Holloway down at 170, mind you, not 155, but at 170 because Chandler, it would be more of a
Chandler
natural.
is not doing it for 5 rounds. Do you think Chandler
Yeah,
is
that's the
going to do
thing.
that for 5?
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. I mean, even if Chandler does take Max down, I don't think Max is the type of guy who can get finished, right? So ultimately, it's going to be an easy win for Max, but also going to be an easy fight for the UFC to make and an easy fight to sell for the UFC. So yeah, that's the fight that's going to
I
happen
mean,
next, I think.
let's just quickly move on to Weili Zhang versus Yan Xiunan, which, by the way, in my opinion, was a great fight. I think I rewatched the fight as well. It was easily a 3-2 round kind of a fight where Weili was dominant, but I think Yan Xiunan did pretty well in the earlier exchanges.
भाई आई थिंक अगेन अब हमारे साथ वही चीज़ हो रही है जो हमारे साथ ड्यूरिंग द कार्ड हुई थी. हमने इतना ज़्यादा बात कर ली थी मैक्स और जस्टिन के बारे में दैट वी फॉरगॉट देयर वाज अनदर बैंगर ऑफ अ फाइट कमिंग अप. एंड भाई अगेन हमने इतनी बात कर ली अभी मैक्स और जस्टिन की कि भाई अब लग रहा है कि वो क्या बात करें भाई इस फाइट के बारे में. बट भाई this fight was epic, man. Like when you think about it, let's say if Max versus Justin had not happened, तो भाई ये
Yeah,
fight clearly it would be up there for fight of the night. भाई मतलब
that's
nobody expected Yan Shonan to do what she did, man. She dropped Bailey 2 or 3 times. I mean, officially they only
yeah.
counted it one time, but she had Bailey hurt so many times in the fight, man. Like it was insane. This fight had everything, and call me crazy, but I thought this was one of the best women's fights ever, man. Like I thought it was one of the best women's fights that I had ever seen because when you think about all of the things that happened in the fight, so we really had Yan Sharan in a submission, I think 2 to 3 times, I believe, and one time she
Yeah.
almost choked her out. She almost choked her out at the end of the second round, I believe, second or third round.
By the way, that was a badass moment. That was a
Yeah,
very badass moment for Yan.
For both of them, man. For both of them, she choked her out, and she did not tap. Yan Shiran was not going to tap, bro, and she was almost
Yeah.
out. And technically she was out, but then the round was over, and she was just wobbling around the octagon, but she got back down to the stool. But again, uh, crazy fight, bro,
And
crazy fight.
I'm so sorry, to just pull another 4 rounds the bag after almost being choked out in the first round is another badass moment that was there on the
It
card
was it was
amongst
in the end of the
many.
second round, I believe.
I think it was at the end of the first round.
Okay, I
I
could be
think
wrong
first
about that. I
round.
could be wrong about that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, could be, yeah. But then again, yeah, it's crazy, man. The way she fought. I mean, she proved everyone wrong. Everyone thought Whaley was going to win easily, but it wasn't an easy win by any means. So again, crazy win for her. And bro, I'm honestly very happy for Jan Shanan. She actually fought really well, and
I
she
am.
and भाई
It
उसके
was a
stocks
very
एकदम नहीं
exciting
गिरे
fight.
भाई.
Not at all. Yeah, come on. Losing to a champ, तो आपके stocks कभी गिर भी नहीं सकते.
And losing
Let's
like
be.
that, I mean, knocking her down two times, so like multiple times, and then surviving submissions. I mean, it's crazy.
Round three, round one was Bailey. Round two was could have gone either way. Round three was definitely Shionan.
Mm-hmm.
So I think overall it was a pretty good fight, and you got to see everything in the fight, right? You got to
True.
see grappling exchanges, you got to see reversals, you got striking, you got to see a lot. So it doesn't hurt Bailey as a champ because obviously she's still the champ. It doesn't hurt Shionan as a competitor at all,
True. True.
and
True.
I think she can be trouble for other competitors in the division as well. Moving on to the last fight of the evening, which was a banger, and I think the champs stocks have really gone up after this fight. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they were before the fight as well, but come on, man. What can you say about Alex Pereira? What a legacy that guy is crafting. We all of us talk about Conor McGregor taking the sport by storm, but talk about a guy who's done it, fighting 5 champions, holding 2 belts, and finishing all of them. Come on, that is a legacy that you craft.
Mm-hmm.
He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time. I wish Chandler would implement that, but Pereira is implementing that for sure.
Yeah. I mean, man. Obviously, I was wrong. मेरी प्रोडिक्शन गलत थी. मैंने जमाल हिल पिक किया था. And this is the prediction that I'm ऑन वन हैंड मेरे को बहुत ज़्यादा मेरे को अपने ऊपर गुस्सा भी आ रहा है क्योंकि मेरे को ये नहीं पिक करना चाहिए था काफ़ी. In some ways it was a very easy fight to predict, but at the same time I'm also not mad because भाई ये फाइट मतलब ऐसा था कि मैंने बोला भी था प्रोडिक्शन के टाइम कुछ भी हो सकता है इस फाइट में. आई मीन इट्स
Yeah,
मैं सरप्राइज नहीं होता अगर हिल अगर नॉकआउट कर भी देता एलेक्स पेरेरा को. बोथ ऑफ देम हैव इनसेन पावर. सो द थिंग विद एलेक्स इज मैन लाइक भाई उस बंदे की यार कैसे समझाऊँ मैं. बट आई नो जो रोगन जस्ट कीप्स टॉकिंग अबाउट हिज किक्स ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन. इट्स सॉर्ट ऑफ बोरिंग एट दिस पॉइंट कि भाई इतनी ज़्यादा किक्स के बारे में बात कर ली उसके. बट यार हिज किक्स आर एवरी थिंग मैन. मतलब उसके किक्स ही सब कुछ हैं. यू कैन नेवर बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दोज किक्स. तुम कुछ भी करके प्रिपेयर नहीं कर सकते उस किक्स के. एंड इजी सेड इट द बेस्ट. ही सेड इट लाइक there's no game plan that you can implement to check his kicks or defend his kicks or be okay with after he has kicked you. कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. It's just there's zero telegraph on his kicks. And again उसने सेटअप भी ऐसे ही किया ultimately. He produced one of again Max had a very badass moment, but uh, the second most badass moment that I have ever seen is this one, man. हर्ब डीन
oh
को बोला
man,
भाई
that
रुक.
that.
हर्ब डीन को बोलता भाई तू
Uh,
रुक एक सेकंड मेरे को एक होल्ड ऑन ब्रदर. आई एम लेफ्ट हुकिंग दिस गाय.
I'm talking. I'm fighting. Hold on, brother. I'm fighting.
हाँ होल्ड ऑन ब्रदर आई एम फाइटिंग. और भाई जो जड़ा उसने उसके बाद तो crazy stuff man. Crazy the power that he has. I mean
That
yeah, celebration was also a heavy lame celebration.
cold,
Yeah,
cold, bro,
bro.
cold.
But you know what? There's something about his power, bro. Like, and we keep talking about this every after every Alex win. But then the way he hit Jamal Hill, it wasn't even clean. It just मतलब थोड़े से नकल्स टच हुए बस. पिंकी फिंगर टच हुई उसकी भाई. फिर भी नॉकआउट हो गया. एंड हिज आईज जमाल हिल्स आईज दे वर जस्ट अंडरटेकर बन गया
They
भाई बंदा.
rolled.
या दे
They
रोल्ड
fucking
बैक.
rolled his head,
या दे
bro.
रोल्ड बैक मैन. एंड बंदा अंडरटेकर
And
बन
I'm
गया.
still shocked. Jamal Hill एकदम से उठ कैसे गया after that happened because
ट्रू
Pereira
ट्रू
landed 2 3 very good follow up shots after that.
ट्रू
But
ट्रू ट्रू.
he has
क्रेजी.
rocks tattooed on his leg. And I don't know, man. What so someone? I mean, I hopefully Teddy Atlas does it the best. Teddy Atlas does some sort of a breakdown why Pereira is so effective with that left hook. But
True, true.
what do you think happens from this point on? I, as a fan, I'll be very honest. I'm not excited for him to go up to heavyweight at all. Even Dana did not sound too keen.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
let's be real. If someone has the chance of realizing that dream and being a three division champion, in this moment, I think the best person is Alex Pereira for that. So,
I would
but I'm
agree.
still not too keen because he's going to get so.
I mean, it depends, man. Look, 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 look. I'll be very honest. I think it all depends on the matchup. Look, if you're going to match him up with Tom Aspinall, it's a very bad idea, right? I'll tell you
Not a bad
why the
idea.
UFC could potentially be okay with Alex moving up with because right now, because सबसे पहली चीज़ तो ये है कि भाई he has just fought at 205 and he has to cut a lot of weight even to make 205. Forget 185, he's cutting a
Yeah,
lot of weight even right now. So obviously since he
easily 28.
yeah, he has taken no damage. He took no damage in this fight, and he's sort of fresh only. So, and he wants to fight again. He wants to fight again as well. So that's the very important thing. He wants to stay active. So he's obviously not going to fight at 205 again, like in the next 2 or 3 months, because it will be a very hard weight cut for him. सो इट्स
Yeah,
क्वाइट ईजी क्वाइट मतलब उतना मुश्किल नहीं है यूएफसी के लिए टू मेक हिम फाइट एट हैवी वेट क्या उसके क्या लाइक व्हाट इज ही लूजिंग इवन इफ ही डज लूज एट हैवी वेट उसका लॉस क्या हो रहा है ही इज नॉट गोइंग टू लूज हिज बेल्ट उसका बेल्ट सेफ है ठीक है
yeah,
ही इज गेटिंग एन अपॉर्चुनिटी to get wins at in three divisions in three different divisions and to win by knockout in three different divisions right जो कि सिर्फ
yeah.
कॉनर मैग्रेगर ने किया आज तक तो
मुझे लग रहा है हाँ.
and Alex would be the second guy to do it and काफ़ी अच्छी opportunity होगी वो so I could totally see UFC making a fight UFC making a fight for Alex at heavyweight but again it depends completely on the type of matchup would it,
Who do you think is a? I mean, let's be real. So, one, who do you think is a safe matchup where which Pereira has the chance to win, and two, what do you think? Which matchup makes just sense in general, given the fact that he's a champ, he's moving up a division, and he's knocked out five people and all that. So, answer both the questions for us, man.
I mean, look. Alex did not in his post-fight interview. He did not call out the champ. He did not call to fight for the belt at heavyweight. He just said he wants to fight at heavyweight, right? Which
Yeah.
gives me a feeling that he is not really aiming for Tom Aspinall or John Jones or
Mm.
someone like Stipe, right? So the fights that do make sense for him, firstly, I mean, it pisses me off because, bhai, I know for a fact that Cyril Gane is very hard to deal with for the
Mm.
UFC. ये बंदा यार मतलब हमेशा प्रॉब्लम्स लाता है यार किसी का मतलब कभी भी
Yeah.
इसकी डील ढंग से हो नहीं पाती है ही हैज़ अ प्रॉब्लम विद एवरी अदर फाइटर बट मेरे हिसाब से यार सबसे
Yeah.
बेस्ट फाइट है एलेक्स पेरेरा वर्सेस सिरिल गान ये फाइट सबसे बेस्ट होगी क्योंकि भाई सब कुछ है इस फाइट में वेट डिफरेंस ज़्यादा नहीं होगा सिरिल गान इज़ लाइक 245 पाउंड्स लाइक समथिंग लाइक दैट 240 to 245 एंड एलेक्स इज़ लाइक 235ish walk around
Yeah.
weight. So that's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. Both are strikers. They're not going to be grappling. And for his first fight at heavyweight with nothing to lose, I think it's a very good fight. But
Yeah.
again, Cyril Gane, if he's going to take the fight, I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, see, if he's had so many issues with people within his division, I don't think he's going to take a lot of risk against a guy who's coming
Yeah,
up from a division,
yeah,
and that too a champion, by the way. So
yeah.
वो तो मुझे भी लग रहा है that
And that to someone who
नहीं होगी,
can
but
put his lights out. Like Alex
what is
can
like?
knock out any heavyweight, man.
I mean, see, again, just from a weight point of view and style point of view, he has a very decent chance to put Cyril Gane out. And given the fact that Cyril Gane is one of those who likes to kickbox, likes
Yeah,
to
exactly.
is like street boxing, so it's a very risky fight for him. उससे अच्छा तो अपने division में किसी से लड़.
True.
What happens with Jamal Hill? Obviously, he's taken the fight, and
Hmm.
many would say he's taken it too early.
He has.
But is it good, bad?
I mean, Halil
What is it?
Roundtree is no joke, man. He is an insane striker, bro. He is like, he's like a mini Alex Pereira. I mean, obviously, he does not fight anything like Alex Pereira, even though he has that Muay Thai style. But bro, he
Yeah,
is like, bro, he हलील राउंट्री भाई वो ऐसे मारता है लोगों को जैसे कि भाई कोई उसको पैसे वो करता है भाई वो जिस तरीके से जस्ट वॉच हिम फाइट ही फाइट्स लाइक अ प्रॉपर ग्लैडिएटर ही फाइट्स लाइक ही लुक्स लाइक ही फाइट्स टू किल बंदे में मतलब I don't know, man. Like, it's going to be an insane fight, honestly. I just
Yeah.
hope कि भाई Jamal Hill is at his 100% because that could be a very bad fight for him, especially coming off of a knockout loss like that.
It's been great, man. What a card, and
Insane card.
this such a card comes once in 7 8 years, bro. So I hope UFC 400 के लिए we'll have more subscribers and we'll have a much better card, by the way.
True, man,
So
true.
let's hope for the best, and we're very excited for 301, by the way. 302, 303. So many good fights have been announced all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So
June is
that's
going to be a
great.
crazy month, man.
June is good. Bro, back to back two pay-per-views, man. 302 is 1st June.
बिल्कुल.
Islam and
And
Poirier,
fight
and
night भी
303
अच्छी है
is
उसके
Paul.
बीच में एक. Real, man, for
We'll
real.
we'll come back soon, most probably to discuss the main event and co-main event next week of the fight night.
Yep.
And it's been great, man. It's been so good. What a card in general from top to bottom. It's
Super fun
crazy.
card, man. Super fun. Crazy watch party as well,
So,
and we'll be posting some of the live reactions from the
yeah,
fights. So stay
we'll,
tuned for that.
we'll